Hi, my name is Anna. I'm going to my second year studying the BSc Mathematics program at Queen Mary University of London. And today I'm going to be talking to you about transitioning to university. I'll be covering what to expect, how to prepare, and some tips for succeeding in first year. So firstly, I think it's really important that you know what to expect. So you have around 16 contact hours a week plus independent study. Often I get the question, is it a lot of work? Is it so much more work than at school? And it's really not very much to worry about. I studied for around like 2 or 3 hours a day on top of my contact hours, but of course it really varies depending on what type of person you are and just like how new all of the content is and everything, but it's not overwhelmingly more than a school, so you're going to be fine. And you have 4 modules each semester, so that's 8 modules a year, and for each of those you have 3 hours of lectures and 1 hour of tutorial. Usually, of course, there's some exception modules, but that's the general standard. And you also have essential mathematical skills, which is arguably the most important module because you have to pass it to transition to second year. But that's also nothing to stress you out. It can seem kind of daunting, but you have 7 opportunities to pass the module, and it's mainly A-level review or IB review or whatever program you did at school. And there's also plenty of practice questions. It talks about things like, so you have to know things like factorization, how to simplify equations, working with radicals, your basic integration and differentiation skills, and long division, and just some foundations so that you really have the background that you need to succeed in all of your other maths modules. And that brings me on to my second topic, which is what can you do to prepare? So what can you do this summer? And the first important thing is to know your basics and be really comfortable doing calculations quickly and easily. And I think that's just important so that you have the foundation that you need to be able to concentrate on the university style content and also the new style of learning maths that comes with university. And if you just know how to, if you're missing your basics, that can kind of cause to a gap and lead you to fall behind a bit. So that would be what I would focus on coming to university, is if you're not already comfortable with like basic maths, like simplifying and multiplying and dividing fractions and like quickly and like things like that that are quite basic but just are important. And secondly, I would recommend to plan how you want to study and take notes. There's lots of different ways that people prefer to study or take notes. Maybe you prefer to copy things down and that really helps you to learn, or you really want to focus on listening more. In university, what math professors usually like to do is they write on whiteboards. Some also have a PowerPoint presentation, but that's less common, and everything is at a speed in lectures where you can comfortably write along. So if that's how you want to learn, which a lot of people do, that's how they take notes, that's perfectly fine and a really good option. Otherwise, there's also printed notes available online, so you can print those out and kind of, what I do is I print those notes out and then I highlight and make some annotations because I learn better by listening. But I think it just really depends on your kind of learning style. So reflect on what worked best for you in A-level time or IB time or school time, and then you can kind of stick with that through university. And I think just being prepared and a bit organized in advance is helpful so that you can really focus on the content and everything else. And then tips to succeed in first year. So organization is really important, to have your notes together so that when it comes to exam time, you know like everything you did and you kind of are on track of like what you need to do to study well for your exam. And staying on top of your work. So you'll get a problem sheet in each module each week. I would really recommend to do the whole problem sheet. For your tutorial, you'll only need to hand in one question on the sheet, but if you want to succeed, it's really good to do the whole thing so that you just have lots of practice, and it's going to be so much easier to study for your exams then as well. And also showing up to all of your tutorials is really important, and not only showing up, but also listening and just engaging. Because if you manage to get comfortable voicing yourself in your tutorials and asking questions, it's going to be so much easier when you actually have something like a problem or a question or something you can't solve, to just talk to your tutor, because they're there for you to do exactly that, to help you. So you might as well make the best of it. And also lectures, it can be really tempting not to go to them, but just show up. And when you show up, pay attention. There's no point in being in a lecture if you're not paying attention. So yeah, I would just recommend just going to things. And then lastly, be ready for a new style of learning maths. So that's, I would say, one of the most challenging parts of university maths, is that it's just a different type of notation and the way you write things. It's very focused on proofs. I wouldn't say it's necessarily more difficult, it's just different. So just come with like an open-minded way of how to do maths, and it takes a bit of getting used to, but you'll get there eventually. But yeah, I hope you guys really enjoy first year. I don't think you need to majorly stress about it. And there's not that much you need to do to prepare academically, because uh, Queen Mary really helps you to come from any level where you are. Obviously, you need to try hard and work hard to succeed, but they help you, so you're going to be fine. Just cover your basics, as I said. But yeah, I hope that helped. Thanks.